Welcome to my boring opinion.
Okay, I'm back again. And I tried to stay out of politics for a little while. However, there's been stuff going on in the media and stuff lately that's been driving me crazy. Let me just adjust my lamp a little bit so it's not shining over my face. Well, I guess there's not really much I can do about that. Anyways, there's something that's been bothering me lately about the mainstream media. Seems like ever since these two shootings, the El Paso and Dayton shootings, they've been blaming Trump for it. Like, oh, he's somehow encouraging these violence or in these rallies. And in the comment section, everybody keeps bringing up something that he did in a video, like he didn't. At one of his rallies, the shoot them thing. Like somebody at one of his rallies, at one of Trump's rallies, somebody yelled, "Shoot him!" And Trump didn't really say much about that. So took me a little while when I finally found that video, that clip everybody was talking about, and from what I could tell, the shoot them comment was obviously a joke. It was a joke. Nobody in that rally took that seriously. Nobody. Okay? Trump didn't take that seriously because it was a joke. It seemed like a joke. Okay? So that right there, and they are run to. These guys are one to talk about violence and inciting violence. It's another double standard, which is one of my biggest pet peeves: hypocrisy and double standards. These guys said nothing. The same people who are pretty much accusing Trump of inciting violence by not really saying anything about that shoot them comment thing that one guy said at his rally. These same people said nothing about Madonna threatening to blow up the White House. They said nothing about Snoop Dogg's Lavender music video where he shoots a clown version of Donald Trump. They said nothing about Johnny Depp's joke which was suggesting Trump's assassination. And there was a play in New York a few years ago. Yeah, 2016, like in the spring of 2016. I believe we ended somewhere in June of 2016, late June, if I got that right. Anyways, there was a play in New York which features Trump's assassination, or the assassination of a Trump-like character, which I believe was supposed to be some kind of satire to mock Trump, and it was supposed to, get the idea of assassinating Trump in people's mind. And I guarantee that almost everybody who's seen that play was anti-Trump people, and they were entertaining themselves with ideas of Trump's assassination. That's what these people were doing. And so far, the only two people who I know of who complained about that inciting violence got kicked out of that play for and arrested for what was it? What did they get arrested for? Not disturbing the peace. They got arrested for something. Disorderly conduct. Yeah, that's what it was. So these guys blaming Trump for all these shootings, which have been going on since before Trump became president. They are a fine one to talk about inciting violence, because it seems to me like they're the ones. If anybody's inciting violence, it's the mainstream media. It's anti-Trump people, because the mainstream media said nothing about Madonna blowing up the White. Matter of fact, they tried to justify that statement. I seen in a later news article when it happened, like a day or so later. They said nothing about Snoop Dogg. Matter of fact, the only time they even mentioned the Snoop Dogg music video is when they were attacking Trump, accusing Trump of being politically correct or something. Oh, he's supposed to be against political correctness. What's he doing? And I count 5 times within the first 6 months of Trump's presidency that there was pretty much violence incited against Trump. Mainstream media never said one thing about it, unless they was attacking Trump for it. They said nothing about it. And now they're attacking Trump for something he said a few months ago, and trying to connect that to the recent shootings in El Paso, Texas, and in Dayton. What's that? Ohio. Yeah, these 2 recent mass shootings. There is no way that you can prove that those 2 events are even closely related to each other. There is no way to prove that. These shootings have absolutely nothing to do with some random guy yelling, "Shoot them!" at a Trump rally about immigrants. And that was obviously a joke. I'm pretty sure at some point we've all made jokes about something that we'd never actually do in real life. I mean, who hasn't jokingly made a statement about doing something like the statement like whenever you get it's like sometimes when you get mad at somebody, enough, you say like, "I'm gonna kill you guys." Like, you're not actually going to kill them. In other words, what you're saying is you're mad at them, and it's not really it's not actually a threat, a death threat. It's kind of a figure of speech that mean that you're mad at them. And that guy that said shoot them, it was obviously a joke. And I mean, I've seen that clip. It was obviously a joke. Nobody at that rally took that seriously. It was everybody knew that it was a joke. Everybody. No Trump supporter took that seriously. And something else. The mainstream media. If anybody's encouraging violence, it is the mainstream media. That's who it is. By ignoring all these people who are inciting violence against Trump. It doesn't matter what your personal opinion is. That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you like the guy or not. It's kind of hot in this room. It doesn't matter if you like the guy or not. Encouraging violence, it's wrong. It is wrong. Ignoring these violence and trying to act like they don't exist is what that's part of the problem, actually. And regarding Trump's statement about video games and stuff, I don't think he's totally blaming 100% video games. I think what he's saying is, I've seen the video clip, but he's saying that video games is one of the many contributing factors of these shootings. It's one of the factors. It's not like one of the main causes. I played violent video games myself, and obviously I've never done anything violent. Excuse me, I'm trying to cut back on that. Anyways, he's not saying that 100% the blame of video games, which, by the way, I've heard people blame video games for violence for years, and Trump's the only person I've seen get bashed for it. Kind of weird. Even though there's always some people who disagreed with that, I've never really seen anybody before Trump get attacked for saying video games is the cause. And I don't even think he said that video game is 100% the cause. I think he's saying that that's one of the contributing factors. in these shootings. Obviously, it's not the main factor. It's not everybody who plays video games is going to go out and do a mass shooting. Not everybody who plays Grand Theft Auto is going to go out and do a shooting. I mean, of course not. However, many factors. That's one of the contributing factors. And many of these, in fact, in most of these shootings, even the Virginia Tech shooting, I remember, there's always reports of these shooters having mental illness. The guy that did the Virginia Tech shooting back in 2007, if I remember right, it was even in the news that he had schizophrenia, paranoid schizophrenia or something to that effect. And I believe that bill, everybody keeps talking about that, something that Trump overturned, that prevents people with mental illness from getting guns. I believe that bill was actually preventing people who used to be like on drugs or something, because apparently drug addiction is considered a mental illness. And if you used to be addicted to drugs, and like under that law Obama passed, if you used to be addicted to drugs, you cannot get medicine. I mean, have a gun. I've seen a video one time from many years ago. This woman, this guy had this guy has guns taken away from him unfairly because of mental illness, and the mental illness was caused by his medicine. It was a side effect of his own medicine. So I believe that the bill that Trump overturned was for like those people who like their mental condition wouldn't have caused them to be violent or anything. And there are certain types of mental conditions that don't cause people to do shootings. And drug addictions would go under the form of would go under the category of mental illness. And that's why Trump overturned that bill. Because that's a temporary, you can overcome that. And it's not fair that somebody who was once addicted to drugs, all of a sudden they can't have a gun or something. I think that's what what Trump says, that's probably something where people have a mental condition like something that's more of a permanent condition. Something that would make them more what am I looking for? Something that would make them a little bit more violent. Not all mental conditions not all mental conditions and mental illness would cause somebody to be violent. However, it is a contributing. Every time there's a mass shooting or a school shooting or whatever, before Trump became president, and maybe even shortly after, because now they're trying to, they don't talk about it very much ever since Trump became president. I used to hear about, not too long after the shooting, the shooter has some kind of mental illness. Now, if they do talk about it, it's very briefly. You don't really hear about it much. They don't want that in the public media. They want people to keep their mind on gun control. And why are these people surprised that Trump isn't talking about gun control? They knew he was against gun control for, 4 years? He's always been against gun control. And they're still attacking him for it. Because he knows that gun control won't solve anything. If somebody wants to do a mass shooting, they'll get a gun illegally if they have to. They get a gun out the black market. And all these signs that says gun-free zones, if somebody's planning a mass shooting, those gun-free zone signs really say unarmed victims.
This has been my boring opinion.
Thanks for watching my video, and feel free to check out TubeBuddy. The link is in the description.